This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
This show is brought to you by Pet King Brands, the makers of Zymox and Oratene.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails, garner great pet tips, and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Wow. Make that bow wow. For more than 20 years, our special guest today has been a champion for cats and an advocate for dogs. She is also a major role model when it comes to facing health issues in our beloved pets and finding healthy solutions. Please give pause and applause to the founder and president of Pet King Brands, the one and only Pamela Bosco. Hey, thanks for being on the show, Pamela.
Oh, thank you for having me. I look forward to speaking with you.
All right, guys, now listen up. Pamela is actually the brains behind a slew of veterinarian-recommended products for your pet's ears, skin, and mouth. The headliners are called Zymox Dermatology and Oratene Brushless Oral Care. Yep, she is a big dog in the pet world. Recently, she was the recipient of the 2019 Women of Influence in the Pet Industry and recipient of the 2019 Icon Award presented by Pet Age magazine. Gosh, Pam, did you get a new car and any of that?
No, but I do want to correct being the brain behind this. There's a lot that brings Zymox to the forefront as being as great as it is. So, yes, I may
might be the
think that I lead.
Yeah.
I think I may lead, but there's been a lot of people in support in bringing this product to where it is today.
Yeah, it does take a village to keep our pets healthy, that's for sure. So, folks, we're going to find out how Pam got started and how a sweet German Shepherd named Elizabeth provided much motivation. You're going to discover all of this and much more after we take this commercial break. So you guys know the drill. Sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Hey, pet pals, Arden Moore here. Is your dog or cat prone to ear infections? Does your pet resist having his ears cleaned when they're inflamed or irritated? Are you also concerned about the overuse of antibiotics? Help is here. Zymox ear care products offer soothing relief, and you'll love this part. They don't require the ear to be cleaned before you apply the drops. It's just as easy as fill, rub, and done. That means less touching of those sensitive ears to help create a soothing, fear-free experience. And you only apply once a day. Here's another perk. Zymox, that's Zymox, gets its effectiveness from enzymes, not antibiotics. You'll find these veterinary-recommended products through your veterinarian, most pet specialty retailers, and online. To learn more, go to Zymox.com. That's Zymox. Pause up.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guest today is Pamela Bosco. She's the founder and president of Pet King Brands. Now, for more than 2 decades, she's been working with veterinarians and others to find solutions to some of the most painful and irritating issues facing our dogs and cats. You know, I'm talking about doggy breath, itchy ears, stinky coats, and much more. And for all of us pet parents seeking solutions to these frustrating issues on our pets, I don't know, Pam, I think we should be calling you Saint Pamela.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, that's for sure. It started out, and I think a lot of it has to do with luck to where we are today. So
Well,
let's start out with being lucky.
Let's step back in time. Let's get in that time machine right now. And you had your beautiful dog, Elizabeth, about 20 years ago. And correct me if I'm wrong, but she sort of is your motivator behind everything.
Yes, it started out, actually, I had a shepherd who was facing a very serious ear issue. She was going to be having ear ablation surgery. So if anyone understands that, it's surgery to remove the inner ear canal because the infection is so bad that there's no resolve to it. So I actually got with my brother Mike, and he had a formulation he was using for oral care in the brand called Biotene. So if anyone's familiar with dry mouth, that was the first and primary brand used for people who are having dry mouth. And I spoke to him. I said, Mike, do you have anything that can resolve ear infections? He says, yes. He says, I have a formulation right here. We're just not using it for humans because it's too strong to use in the mouth. I said, okay. So he comes with his little formulation. He sends it into the bottle that you actually see today, the 1.25-ounce bottle. And I used it on my shepherd. I put it in, didn't know how to use it because it's right off the ground, starting from nowhere. So we put it in the ear. I filled up the ear canal, rubbed it around, did that for 3 days. By the third day, her infection was gone. Wow. So I remember calling my brother Mike back and said, Mike, I think we're on to something here. And that's pretty much how it started.
And is he your older or younger brother?
He's older than me, so he started the industry many years ago. He is a very big influence in my life and the love of science and medicine. And he started his company many, many years ago before PKB in the human medicine and dental world. So he was the one who he had a lot of patents out and formulations. And again, I would say his claim to fame would be the Biotene line that helped resolve a lot of people's dry mouth issues. And so that's how he came to influence me and how the brand and the chemistry started.
Now, when you were growing up as kids, you weren't playing hopscotch or tetherball. You were sitting there doing fake Labradors with your brother Mike?
I've always had a love of science. I was lucky enough to be the youngest in a family of very smart and creative people. My mom was a private duty nurse. My dad started his own business. And my siblings were all into the sciences. I have a physicist in my family. I have chemists, engineers. So we came out of the gate. We just were very curious and medicine oriented. So I think that has a lot to do with my love and where I am today. It was the influence that I had with those who came before me.
Man, you're like the Big Bang Theory on steroids. With your
I'd like
family.
to think so, but there's they're all smarter than me. I'm just here following on the coattails of my siblings. I like to think.
And growing up, did you always have pets?
Yes, we've always had pets. We had kittens, dogs, and I was the 10th of 11. So I was very young, and I was a loner to a large degree. And of course, pets and animals filled a lot of that time, that free time that I had. And so I had a caretaking ability. I loved animals. I loved taking care of them. And if it was little and small and I could catch it, I took care of it.
Mom, I brought home a skunk.
No, I have stories of snakes crawling down the stairs and trying to hide. You name it, we had it in the house if I was lucky enough to catch it.
Well, I think that's awesome. Where did you all grow up?
On the southwest side of Chicago in a little town called Burbank.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I'm from Crown Point, Indiana, so we were almost neighbors.
Midwest, Midwest native. Love Midwest.
You're from the region, folks. If you're from that area, you know what I'm talking about. And I love Chicago. So, if you can brave a winter in Chicago, you can do well in the pet industry, I think. You were properly conditioned, don't you think?
That's right. It makes you stronger. It doesn't break you, it makes you stronger. Those winters can really get to you after a while.
Well, so you came up with the name Pet King Brands. I like that. It's easy to remember, and there's a whole bunch of products. I want everybody after the show to go, especially to Zymox.com, and that's Z as in zebra, YMOX.com, and it'll just launch you all around. But if you could tell us a little bit, what were you doing before you launched Pet King Brands?
Well, Zymox came from, before Zymox, I was working in quality control from Keebler. And I had gotten married, I had children, and I became a stay-at-home mom. So at that point, you're trying to make bills ends, and the ends meet, and you're really struggling there for a while. So at that point, you start to be creative. And I actually had a veterinary friend that I had graduated with, and I happened to ask her, I said, what are you guys doing out there? Because I had a few lines out there of other products. I had a cage diaper and some other items. And I thought, okay, what else can we do? So I talked to my veterinary friend, and she goes, we don't have good products for ear medication because everything's resistant out there. She goes, I don't know, maybe something like that. I thought, okay, why not? How hard can it be to come out with a new product? And so that's where that connection made, and I came from there. I asked my brother. And so it was a gradual step to each way along the path into the creation of the brand. And then, of course, I don't know, back in the day, maybe it was easier to start companies, or maybe I was just very naive. And how hard can it be? You get the brand, you get the ideas, you start packaging it in your basement, and then you just start moving along. And that's how it was like one thing presented itself, and you just built upon that.
Well, you've done a mountain now. You didn't do a little molehill. We're talking about a mountain. So talk to us a little bit about what makes your products a little bit stand out. I mean, you've sold, I think, didn't you, somewhere I read that you have already sold over 1 million bottles now? That makes you guys kind of big.
Yeah, we've been in it for a long time. And I think the thing is you just had to have your pulse on the needs of a pet owner and the pet. And so when we first came out, we started at different industries. It actually started on the retail side, and pet owners said, no, whenever we buy something, we like to buy it through our vet when it's considering, the health needs of our pets. We said, okay, we'll go talk to the veterinarians then. So we actually started out then talking to the veterinarians and explained to them how these products work on pets. And I think what we solved was the convenience and the efficacy issue.
Good. And that's very important.
And non-species specific. So when you cover a lot of the areas of needs and you find the solutions to those needs, that's how your product becomes as good as it is now. Because we were a once-a-day, no pre-clean solution to the ear problems that the pet owners were facing. And it was non-species specific. So from there, we could launch off to be for cats, for you name it, because the chemistry itself, the patent itself, is non-species specific. It's found in mammary glands, and so it doesn't matter where you're applying it to. Is safe and effective for a broad range of animals and their problems.
Well, nowadays, pet industry is a huge, huge market. I think we spend more money on our pets than we do toys and candy and combined. And there's a lot of pop-up things. So what do you think is your staying power for Pet King brands?
A loyal following that believes in a product that works for them. So we really didn't have much of a marketing company. We were very small from the start. So we were word of mouth. And so the peer response from peer to peer, people saying, hey, this works for me, try this, works for me. And same thing happened to the veterinarians. They were responding to each vet, to their peers, and saying, hey, this product works great, this is how we use it, this is how we recommend it. And so I think that speaks the loudest. It's not a marketing campaign. People recommending it to another that has been our success, our story. So we don't have to market it. We don't have to rely on something that's not true. We're relying on people saying it's true. It's working for people. And that's actually been it's from the grassroots on up. And people have supported us, and veterinarians have supported us to where we are today.
Now, I know we're not going to be like Kentucky Fried Chicken here and give away the secret recipe, but you're not antibiotics. And talk about that when you go to Zymox and things like that. Tell us a little bit about, so people can understand, because some people are a little bit hesitant about antibiotics.
Yeah, so it's sound chemistry. This patent involves an enzyme system that's part of the body's primary defense mechanism in all the mucous membranes of the body. So if you have a bacteria or a microbe that gets into the body, this is the first line defense. So my brother was just brilliant enough to patent it and put it in a bottle. And he puts in the right components that allowed it to be patentable. And so that's where it comes, is that this is just an enzyme system that produces an ion when it comes in contact with biological material. And the beauty behind that is it works best in the dirtiest environments. So the worse the infection is, or the worse and dirtier the environment is, the harder this product works by producing the ion that's in balance with the bacteria or the infection that's causing the problem. So that's why it's perfect. You're not involving anything but nature as is meant to be.
I can just see you on Shark Tank. You would just swallow up the competition. Have you ever thought about going on Shark Tank?
We don't need that today. No, I think a lot of people bounce their ideas off there it's good for startups and stuff, but we're at such a point in time and such a stable nature of our business that I think we're past that. And, we're self-sustaining. We have a great business model. We're secure. We're stable. And so, it would have been great back then when we were first starting out, I think, but right now I think we're doing well.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Folks, we're speaking with Pamela Bosco. She is the president and founder of Pet King Brands. We're going to talk about a contest that they're launching to celebrate their special 20th anniversary and that fun thing called keeping your dog's mouth clean and how to do it without a big wrestling match. But first, let's take a quick commercial break. Sit and stay. We'll be right back.
time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. Oh Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
Hey, pet pals, Arden Moore here to unleash some great health advice. It's time to be down in the mouth for the benefit of your dog and cat. Unleashing good oral care is one of the best ways to show love for your pet. Do you find brushing your pet's teeth challenging? Here is a terrific solution. Treat your dog to Oratene brushless oral care. Oratene makes caring for your pet's oral health super easy. The difference is the enzymes. The advanced enzyme technology in Oratene works to freshen the breath. It eliminates bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Yuck. They also reduce plaque biofilm from accumulating on the teeth. And guess what? None of these products require actual brushing. Woohoo! You can choose from these 3 products. 1, a water additive that gives your pet the benefits of oral care with every lap of water. 2, a breath freshening spray with a gentle mister. Or 3, a brushless toothpaste gel you can apply with your finger. If your pet tolerates brushing, hey, you can always brush too. To learn more, visit Zymox.com, Zymox.com, and look under the oral care product line. Do it today.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Marty Becker, and I'm proud to be part of Arden Moore's Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I got a Midwesterner in the house just like me. We're talking about Pamela Bosco. She is the president and founder of Pet King Brands. And I want you guys after the show to dash over to Zymox.com. You're going to find a whole slew of products that she and her team have developed that are safe and effective for your pets. But because you're having the special 20th anniversary, can you tell us a little bit? There's a fun contest that ends November 30th. So please go ahead and share some of the things about this. It's called Love for All Pets Contest.
It's a way to enter stories about your pet and everything and win prizes. And it's a great thing. It revolves around the oral care line that we have because, you know, there's a lot of oral care out there. And we'd like to think that ours, of course, is best suited for pets who are facing more severe oral issues. It could be on any pet. But if your pet needs good oral care, the beauty behind Zymox is it's meant for all pets to be used safely. We took out all the chemistry in it that's harmful to your pets. They can eat and drink it all day long, and it's a dual patented enzyme system that inhibits microbes in the mouth and removes plaque biofilm before it turns into the tartar and the calculus. So it's safe for all pets. If you have a great story to share, go online to the Zymox.com site, look into the contest, and enter.
What do you win, Don Pardo?
Oh, well, there's a lot of prizes out there, and depending upon how great your story is, you'll get the best prize.
All right. And so everybody here, just go to Zymox.com, look for the contest. Tell us a little bit about Oratene, because people know that by age 3, about 70 to 75% of all dogs and cats have some type of dental issue, whether it's bad breath or tartar or bleeding gums. That's a lot of pets, and there's a lot of people that intend to do well, but they just don't want to sit there and wrestle and try to brush a cat or dog's teeth. So tell us how Oratene's a little bit different.
Okay, so we came out with the chemistry that's based on, again, the Biotene brand, which is for dry mouth. So you're replacing enzymes that are naturally found in healthy saliva. So if your pet is undergoing anything that would inhibit that, be it they're geriatric, they're on medication, if there's some kind of autoimmune disorder, diabetic, anything like that, this product is great because it replaces what's normally found in a healthy saliva. So if you see a pet that has, we like to say, if you see a pet who has an unhealthy mouth, has a lot of plaque, bad breath or something, think first, why? Is there something going on that they're on or they're not having in their diet or their saliva that would be normally protecting and producing a healthy mouth? And Oratene does it. It provides what's naturally found in a healthy saliva. And naturally, so we don't do it with like plant-based materials or antiseptics or anything that's harsh to the oral mucosa. It's very safe to use, and because of the dual patented enzyme system, you'll have both things happen. You'll have bacterial inhibited, and you'll have plaque removal without brushing.
Yeah, and you got to agree, brushing is kind of a big challenge for some folks, don't you think? with their dog or cat?
Well, we were the first to come out with a brushless oral care system when we were able to do that because based on the Biotene, they had the BFF form of the iota removing formula. Mm-hmm. And so we followed the same chemistry that the human brand did, but we took out the xylitol and took out anything that the pets, we didn't want in the pet's mouth. So because of that, we followed the same system that allowed the biofilm removal of it. And you don't find it anywhere else. We are the most complex enzymatic formulation in the marketplace today for pet oral care.
So, translation, folks, your dog can kiss you and you won't be bowed back by their breath, right?
Exactly. And a safely way to do it, too. You
put it in their water. How do you administer it?
So we have multiple ways to get these enzymes in the mouth. One is you have a gel. It's a clear gel. It's based on an artificial saliva. So basically you're just squeezing it in the mouth once or twice a day. And then you have the water additive, 2 mils per liter of water. You can change it out throughout the day. They can drink it as often as they want. There's nothing toxic to it. And then we also have a spray, a mouth freshener spray that also gets the enzymes in the mouth. So throughout the day, you can use them at your desire as often as you want. As severe as the oral condition is, use it throughout the day. And you can, like I said, if enzymes, the more frequent you use them, the better they are. It's not quantity, it's frequency over quantity that you want them in the mouth. So use them throughout the day as often as you can, and you'll have a pet with a healthy mouth.
I mean, think about this, Pamela. When you were just a kid in this family of geniuses, did you ever expect you would be where you are today? And I'm not asking you to brag or anything like that, but there was something that has motivated you to keep pursuing this, and you are smart enough to know to pair with people with really good talents like your brother Michael Pellico and some veterinarians. But if you ever take a stop and pause and say, how did I get here?
I do that every single day of my life. I consider myself an extremely lucky person, and I've just been lucky enough to have the right people come into my life at the right time. And I look at my life every day and say, and I think what happens is I'm able to pay it forward then. I think because of my life and what I have in life, I also do it forward to people that come into my life. And with the animals, too. I mean, we're now linked with multiple shelters. Myself have, I can't tell you how many pets I have. I know you have 3 dogs and you have your cats. I have 12 dogs. I have 7 cats. We have horses, cows, rescues. We do it here.
And that's all in a 1-bedroom apartment? Wow. Just kidding.
No. I actually live on a ranch.
I know.
I'll tell you what, though, when I first got married and lived in Westmont, Illinois, I had chickens on a little plot of land. So even then, we did this. We had multiple pets. We went to rescues. We saved animals. I'm lucky in my life because I am lucky enough to pay it forward and continue doing what I love best.
Now, I'm just imagining Mrs. Doolittle with all these critters you got on the ranch. Each one is bringing something to you. So how have pets made you a better human?
I think it gives me patience, and I think the best quality somebody can have in their life is to take care of another thing besides themselves. So I think that gives you a sense of well-being. I think it gives you a sense of purpose. And so that's basically what each animal does, and I have lots of children too, but each child, each person, each pet you take care of gives you a sense of value. And I think that's what they do to me. They give you a purpose. There's more than just yourself in this world.
I love that. And tell us a little bit about the shelter affiliates you're doing. What is Pet King Brands doing?
We were actually, for a size company when we first started out, we had our own animal advocate on staff, and since then we've merged that with our marketing team now, but they were working individually with each shelter, humane association around the country. Now we work, right now I had a team leadership meeting down here in Texas, and I brought my team down here, and then we hooked up with PAWS, the local PAWS shelter, and we went over there. We had a PAWS day. We got to know the shelter, and now we're also donating product to the local PAWS shelter in Texas. So we do that wherever we can. We unite with the shelters and organizations around the country, and we donate product, and we do fundraisers and things like that.
Now, where in Texas?
I'm in Austin.
Austin. I'm in Dallas.
I know. Actually, my director of marketing is up there in Dallas. You should
That's right.
Hook up with her. Yep.
Well, you talking about Debbie?
Yep.
Yep. We met. I am a certified master in pet first aid and CPR, and we were at a cat show in Mesquite, Texas, and I gave a veterinary-approved cat first aid CPR training for the judges and the breeders there with my orange tabby, pet safety cat, Casey, and that's how we met. She popped in and watched us in action, and he is like a feline George Clooney because ladies love him and the dudes do too.
Well, I have to say something about your cat because my favorite color cat is the orange tabby. Okay. I've had 3 of them now in my life.
Really?
They're all called Sadie, and they're the most loving cat I've ever met. Of any, it's the orange tabby, and I have to say, I keep getting them. I keep calling him Sadie.
But yeah, he's my first one, and he's the most confident and cool cat I've ever met. He's a certified therapy pet. He walks in sometimes in a stroller, wears a cowboy hat, walks on a leash, does paws and other tricks, and gets along with dogs. And I don't know why I waited so long. I don't know if I'm going to name all my orange tabbies moving forward Casey, but you've got me thinking.
Think about it. Next said, think about it. And when you do, and you get your next orange tabby, see how sweet they'll be. There's something about an orange tabby.
I like that. And what about your dogs? Tell me a little bit about 1 or 2 of your favorite dogs.
Oh, my gosh. It's hard to have a favorite. I have so many. And we just got a new puppy, too. So we just got another new puppy rescue. She's a sweet little Schnauzer Chihuahua.
Oh my God.
And so that's what I have a lot of small ones, but we have big ones too. So trust me, it's across the board. We had I had a Basset Hound that just passed away. He was a rescue. Found him on the side of the road, and I have this little one who probably loves me the most. I should say that is not who I love the most, it's who loves me the most. Her name is Pixie, and she's the sweetest little Schnauzer. Schnauzer Chihuahua again, but she's just a darling dog. She loves everyone, but she loves me probably the most.
Oh, she's got good taste. So, is there something you can, if you're not on Shark Tank, but in the pet industry? Is there a couple of tips you can give folks who are entrepreneurs that they think they have something as far as any kind of advice to help them?
You just got to love what you do. So I hope you're in it for the right reason. You got to just look around and see what problems there are in the industry. Find simple solutions to them if you can, and surround yourself with competent people, because you're only as good as your instincts are. And unless you have some education in the business world and business model, you got to go a lot by your instincts from the start. And you got to trust your instincts, but more importantly, surround yourself with sound support and good advisors in building your brand. It's basically it. It's you and everyone else you surround yourself with that makes a brand.
Oh, I think that's right. And again, folks, we've been speaking with Pamela Bosco. She is the founder and president of Pet King Brands. And after the show, guys, you get to enter the contest. It's running until November 30th. Just go to zymox.com and you'll find more details because they're celebrating their 20th anniversary. That's a big deal. I know we've talked a little bit about itchy, irritable ears and dirty dog breath. What about other products that you guys have that can help out our dogs and cats?
We have a whole dermatology line that pretty much tries to solve any problems you have in the skin. I have a lot of allergy dogs that are out there right now, and our products have minor anti-inflammatory capabilities. The lactoperoxidase system, which is the primary enzyme in the products, does help soothe skin. But we also are known as, we're more or less against minor skin infections on the skin. So if you have anything that's minor on there, you're trying to deal with because it usually comes as a secondary problem to allergies. Yep. So if you see a dog who has an allergy, you can be sure you're going to find hot spots and all those other things that are causing it coming from that allergy condition. So that's what we solve through a spray, a cream, and a shampoo, and a rinse product.
Yeah, and I do want to tell you, as a pet first aid instructor, and I teach everybody from canine police officers to self-proclaimed crazy cat ladies, one of the biggest no-nos you can ever reach for a wound is hydrogen peroxide, and it just burns the skin. So I really want people to know about your products because you don't want to reach for the wrong thing, right, Pamela?
Well, you want to first do no harm. That's
right.
That's the first thing you want to do is first do no harm. So you don't want to put any irritant on the skin if your skin's already irritated. The skin is the first line of defense when it comes to any kind of irritants, and so you really want to protect that, do that before you do anything. And so that's what Zymox pretty much does, is it doesn't cause any irritations. It's very mild, it's very gentle, very safe, but it has the enzymes where the power comes from, which of course are not irritated to begin with. They're naturally meant to be there.
Yeah. So it's like armor for the skin in a hug way, right? Oh,
exactly.
How's that? You like that?
I'm going to use that tag. I'm going to tell Deb about that one.
Hold on. What would be somebody would be surprised outside the pet world to know about you, and that, I don't know, are you a master at playing Monopoly, or what would be something that might tickle or surprise somebody about you?
I love children.
Okay, cool.
I come from a big family, and I think, people may see me and they don't know how many children I have. I have 4, but I have many that come from there. My children bring home their friends and everything. So I love family. I love children. And so that's pretty much me, children and animals.
So what kind of fun do you do with the kids? Is there a certain game or certain kind of cupcake you make for them or what?
Well, we pretty much have never taken a vacation without each other. We travel together. My 3 older children live together in a house together. We get along in the most amazing way. So spending time together is our thing. If we have time, we're together as a group, as a family.
What was a fun recent vacation y'all took? Did you take over a complete cruise ship or what?
Where was our last one? Well, we go to California quite a bit because my family lives out in California. So we get out there quite a bit to see my mom. She's still alive. She's going to be celebrating 99 years.
Wow. Happy birthday,
October.
Mom.
Yep. On the 26th, she'll be celebrating her 99th birthday. So I get out there to see the family. So family vacations are a big thing for us. Traveling outside the country now has been a big thing. So, right now we're expanding our territories. It was traveling and camping in the country, but now we're looking outside the borders and actually exploring Europe.
Nice. Hey, everybody. We've been speaking with Pamela Bosco. She is the president and founder of Pet King Brands. I want you to know that there's a whole line of products. The headliners are Zymox Dermatology and Oratene Brushless Oral Care. There's a lot of goodies in here. And as you've heard from her, she hasn't done this on her own. It's taken a very, very smart, savvy village of people, of veterinarians and chemists and others. And she's just like us. She loves our pets, and she's there to be our pet's best health ally. Anything else you'd like to add before we bid adieu? And I hope we get to meet each other. We're not that far apart. And maybe I'll bring my orange tabby Casey to give you a high paw.
Oh, I'd love to meet her. I'd love to meet him.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, yeah. And I have a dog named Kona, who is a Jack Russell mix that I got from a shelter. She was about 15 months old. And I call her benevolently Ice Cream Kona because she's very nice.
Oh, my gosh, so lovely. Maybe you can help me with my new puppy name because I can't come up with names. I am the worst person coming up with a name, and I don't want to name them all Puppy 1, 2, and 3. Maybe that'll be my next contest.
Well, you got a Schnauzer and a Chihuahua mix. I'm going to have to think about that. What's the personality of this pup?
Energetic and sweet.
Ooh.
And she's all black, so there it goes. She has this black thing to her. I'm stuck on it. If you can help me out, I'd look forward to that.
All right, I'm going to think about that. And listeners, if you have some ideas too, just write me at arden@petliferadio.com, and we're going to get this poor pup a name. Because they always get their name and their nickname and their other nickname, right?
That's true, and it becomes them. What is a name? A name really, they take on their name, so make it a good one. Nothing that's going to cause me a headache now, okay? No troublemaker names or nothing like that.
No. We're not going to call her Poopy or anything like that. And that's why I called her Kona, because her name in the shelter was Kiku, which is a Japanese for chrysanthemum. I'm like, what? And I kept wanting to call her Cuckoo. And so I changed her to Kona because she has the color of Kona coffee. I love the island of Kona, and it rhymes with ice cream, Kona. So that's how
we all love coffee.
That's right. That's right.
It's a win-win.
Well, you have been a delight to be on our show, Pamela. And I really do give you pause and applause for all you're doing to help the health of our pets. I mean, I wish they could live like the age of birds. But every day, I think, and it sounds like you do too, every day we get to spend with our pets makes us better people. Don't you agree?
I totally agree. Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed speaking with you.
All right, guys. Remember, go to zymox.com and find out more. You can also go to petkingbrands.com. And I also want to do a salute to my producer, Mark Winter. He is the Wizard of Paws. You know what, guys? He started the first pet network podcast on the planet 11 years ago, and I was his first host. He's got a slew of shows, and so he, like Pamela Bosco, saw a need and is filling it with edutainment. And I am glad to be part of the team. And until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. Oh, behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's Oh Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do, and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.